Hey guys, I'm Boo. We're in New Jersey, and today we are inside my 2006 Hyundai Tucson, however you say it, Tucson, Hyundai Tucson, because it's a joke. Today, I've been working on this thing for like 3 months. It has been an absolute pain in the ass. Everything I've done to it, aside from an oil change, has been to try to fix something. The problem I'm getting is a P0011 code on this thing. And no matter what I do, who I call, even Hyundai themselves and Hyundai mechanics have not been able to figure this out because they are looking at the wrong motor, or they're looking at something wrong. Basically, that code tells me that I have a bad or sticking VVT sensor, or solenoid as it's called, or in this case, it's actually known as the oil control valve. I went to check this when I first got the first code, was a VVT solenoid and the P0011 code. And so what I did was I went to take out the VVT solenoid, or the oil control valve, and here it is. Now, this one is a little bit weird because it has 5 slots on one side and 2 on the other. And like I said, I've been in contact with Hyundai, a few times about this, and they gave me what they called an updated part. The updated part wasn't as long. It was shorter than this. It had fewer holes on the one side. And when I explained that to him, and I even showed him this part, he explained to me that Hyundai wants to save money, so they redesigned the part to fit multiple vehicles. The problem is not the redesign. The problem is they don't even have a right place to start from. So this VVT solenoid looks a lot different than the one that's in there. And the one that's in there, I picked up off Rock Auto. Now, I also picked up another solenoid for $403, you freaking jerk-offs, Hyundai. And I ended up taking it back because it was the same one as the Rock Auto one I have in there. Now, the thing is that when I had a buddy of mine put his scanner on here, because my scanner is just the common, here's the code, here's a little bit of information, got this fucker at Walmart for like $15, $20. That was not good enough. I needed an actual readout with actual, graphs and numbers. And so what we were able to see was that the VVT solenoid was actuating as it was supposed to, and our cam timing was actuated as it was supposed to be. So this tells me that it's a possibility that there's other oil channels, because this one has 5 slots on it. There's one at the top. You can see there's one at the top, one below it, one in the middle, one at the bottom, and then there's this little tiny guy right there at the very bottom, right above the O-ring. And you can see that O-ring is just flat as hell. So I'm surprised this thing wasn't leaking oil. But the one they gave me, and I will show you when I take it out, looks exactly like it, had less holes. And again, I was mansplained it to by Hyundai and a mechanic at Hyundai about how they redesigned this part. Funny enough, I happened to go on to Amazon, everybody's favorite car parts place, where you find the cheap garbage. And guess what? They have one, and guess what? All the holes are there. So what the fuck, Hyundai? You guys are fucked up. Never again will I ever buy a Hyundai or a Kia, because it's all plastic garbage. Now, let's go ahead, dive down under the hood, and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so this is my Hyundai Tucson 2.0 liter GL, I believe, and there is where the VVT solenoid is. Now, I know it looks like shit. The connector has been busted to hell, but there is no signal loss in this. So I'm going to grab it by this rubber bit and pull it out. Okay, I've still got the connections, I've still got everything inside of there. Even though it's not super weatherproofed, it is what it is. I don't get loss of signal, even checking with the graphs and everything, no loss of signal on that. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and underneath here is going to be a 10mm bolt. So I'm going to undo that 10mm bolt and pull this out and show you the difference between the one I have that originally came out of here and this one. Okay, a word of warning, these may be stuck in place, so don't just grab them and like yank all willy-nilly with a pair of pliers or something, because the last one, this piece was hanging by a thread and broke off, and I'm guessing that's what the person before me did. So what I am going to do is just grab the metal part of the body, not the plastic, and just give it a little, well, there we go, a little bit of movement. A little bit of movement goes a long, long way. Unfortunately, these are not the pliers I should be doing this with. There we go. Now that I've got a little movement, I can rock it back and forth until it comes out. Now looking at these two sensors, everything matches. Everything matches up. Everything. And I got this one on the right for $17 out of Amazon. So if it works, it is what it is. I'll look for it more, but this is the first one I found on Amazon that actually looked like the one I had. And I'll put a part number up for that as well. Okay, so now that I've got some oil around that O-ring, I'm going to go ahead and just slide it into place. Might have to twist a little bit. Tolerance is not real good on this. There we go. Kind of got to rock it into place. Man, it's really tough, huh? I might have to tap on this with the back end of a socket on the back end. Okay, now that I've got it mostly tapped in, there's a very little bit of space in between there. You can't really see it, but you kind of can. I'm just going to use the bolt to tighten it down and get it the rest of the way sent in. Then I'm going to plug that plug back in, and then we're going to hop in it and see if it works. Okay, so we are running now. I don't have a check engine light because I reset it the other day, but I'm going to go check to make sure it actually seated and there's no leaks. The engine actually sounds a little different than it did. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the old VVT solenoids, and then my next thing is to figure out why this is squealing so bad. But it's got multiple belts, so we'll see. And with that said, to the geniuses at Hyundai who think this is the same thing, you're a fucking idiot. That is not the same thing. And I even brought the old one in to show the guy. Now, I told you the problem with the old one was that the connector was hanging by a thread, which probably means that the connection inside was disconnected and it would not trigger the valve to open. So at that rate, I'm going to call this one good. If I end up, getting a code on it, I will update you guys. But there's not a whole lot from anybody on the internet about this dang truck. And I know I'm going to have to do wheel speed sensors and an output speed sensor and God only knows what else. Maybe that erratic speed sensor was because of those wheel speed sensors and not because it needed to be replaced. That's a very big possibility, but that's 3 wheel speed sensors at $100 a piece from the zone. Maybe I can get them cheaper somewhere else, but do I really want to take that chance? Although, if this $17 part solved my problem, I may just take that chance and bring you guys along for the ride. So anyways, with that said, guys, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.